weren't there, so you would technically be there, but you weren't there when we were talking about it. So that's all I was saying.
So it's now Dal's and your turn to
Yes.
go and play. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'll do what everyone does in the bar. I'm drinking. So
So we talked to the waitress for a little bit, trying to get information. Didn't get
Yeah,
too much.
Romar's character did. And you talked to the waitress who was Lucy Stone, who Romar learned was Professor Leader's girlfriend in quotation marks. I don't know if girlfriend would be the proper term, but he was seeing her, basically.
she did not want to tell, or she does not know.
Oh, she said what she knew. She gave Romar information.
Oh yeah, she was blunt. I said, "What was your relationship?" And she said, "We were lovers." You know, right out in the open. She wasn't afraid. She's 1926 floozy. So I'm just kidding. But no, and she knows that he's dead. She saw the body. And
she knows about his gambling. So she basically all she did is just confirm with you guys that he had a problem with gambling.
Does she know where he used to gamble?
The what?
Does she know where he used to gamble?
The Roadhouse?
The what? I did. That's what. What'd you say?
I thought it was at the Roadhouse.
Yes, she would have told you that he gambled there, but technically would have told Romar, yes, that he gambled here, but it's kind of like hush hush.
But she wouldn't tell us who he gambled, who the bosses were, or she didn't know who the bosses were.
Yeah, no, she didn't know who actually ran it. She just knows it goes on. It just goes on behind closed doors. But basically, her whole mentality is, I'm a waitress. I make my money here, and I do my job and keep my mouth shut, like that kind of thing. So, like, she knows what's going on, and she knows that he was a part of it, but she doesn't know all the players in it, basically.
Absolutely understandable. I have no problem with it. Well, if he was gambling there, guys, who wants to gamble?
Well, one piece of information that she also gave to Romar was that she knew that he was working with a forger. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Oh, that's right. It was a forgery. It's trying to make up some more papers about the witches. That's right.
Right, because Quinn and Nanza's characters actually found some stuff in the house that related to that.
All right.
They actually found some forged parts of the paper that weren't the paper themselves, and it wasn't the full. It wasn't all of the papers. It was just a portion of it. But it, Quinn's character could tell it was a forgery. So you know he was working with some
I tell you, it's fake.
Exactly. So you know he's working with a professional forger.
And does she know who is that forger?
Did she reveal that to you, Romar? Do you remember if she knew the forger's name?
Let me go into my notes.
Because I don't remember if she did or not.
Sorry, I'm actually
You're fine.
I'm cooking my wife's dinner while we're playing at the same time. I'm sorry.
You're cooking your wife.
I said wife's dinner.
Oh, we got a little Shantae.
Sorry, you cut off a little bit.
Or was it the wife that was just cut off?
Anyways,
Okay, that's not what I'm looking for.
So we're
Uh.
gonna browse around the bar, see if there's anybody who looks like a gambler, maybe somebody sitting there drinking with playing solitaire, or
How do I open my character?
I mean, there's quite a few people there. I was telling them I know that when we left off last time, I was going to give you the opportunity to talk to anybody you wanted to since you didn't get the chance. And that'll go over to Noel as well since he wasn't there. You're not, I'm going to let him look to see if she told him that information or not, and then we'll come back to that. But when Romar got done interviewing her, she walked away from you guys. So y'all won't get to, she's not going to be interviewed again. Basically, she's going to go back to doing her work, and Romar interviewed her separately. So when you look around, there's lots of people here. There's a lot of people sitting at the bar. This is like a speakeasy. And if you don't know what that term means, this is during Prohibition. So alcohol was illegal during this time. And so these people are in a bar that's like hidden behind another building. And so there's it's an interesting setup, let's put it that way. But there's people sitting at the bar itself, drinking and laughing. There's a couple of people that's sitting at tables. There are some people that playing cards. You see a group that's actually playing dominoes. But there's also a person that's at the piano at a piano in the corner that's playing like real soft piano music.
I have.
There's
I'm sorry. Continue.
no, go ahead. No, you're good. Go ahead.
I have the name, and it's all by itself. It might be that Anthony Flinders.
Okay. Yes. So she did give him that information.
Okay.
Awesome. So what about finding that guy? Maybe he might tell what was in those documents.
Maybe. But right now y'all are in the bar, so y'all can, if when you leave here, you can decide whether you want to look for Anthony Flinders or go elsewhere. But Dow, are you wanting to talk to somebody or what you want to do?
so there's got to be like a barkeep for this, mixing the drinks and pouring the drinks, or one or the other.
Yeah, there is. There's a bartender.
All right, so the bartender I'd like to talk to, basically because he's getting his supply.
Right. So the bartender is actually kind of really busy. He's walking forth. It looks to be like probably a middle-aged man. Pretty friendly. You can see he's cutting up and going back and forth, tossing, or not really tossing, but sliding drinks down the bar to people. But he is laughing it up with them. He's earning pretty good tips. Just by looking at him, you can tell he's probably been doing this for a long time, and he's a pretty good bartender. Probably makes a lot of money here when he works, just from the way he works. But when you approach him, he's actually got a towel and he's cleaning a cup, and he looks at you and he goes, "How can I help you?"
And first I'll order a whiskey and see if I can't recognize the flavor of the whiskey.
Okay. Brittany, the keeper right here is going to tell you I don't drink whiskey, so I'm not very familiar with the names of whiskey, but he's going to get you some and he's going to give it to you. And is your character an avid drinker?
Not an avid drinker, but he's a mover of product.
Right. So when you taste this whiskey, don't ask me what it tastes like because I have tried whiskey and I do not like it. So I've only tried it once. So I'm not going to do very good with descriptors about whiskey, but
That's all right. The thing with whiskey back in Prohibition, there wasn't a lot of people to get it from.
Right.
So the
So
supplies, you could kind of get an idea whether the supplies were from overseas or a local distiller.
yeah. So when you try it, you've never tasted it before. So like you've never had this specific one, but you can tell that it's local.
but it's local.
It doesn't taste very good.
I'll point out to the bartender that he's not quite getting things from overseas, and maybe does he know someone who wants to do some imports for his bar?
And he kind of like raises his brows at you, and that's not something I typically talk about. That can get you in trouble around here. Why do you want? What exactly are you wanting to know, or why are you talking about it?
Well, it's a good whiskey, but I can get you better.
Yeah, but this whiskey right here is cheap, and people seem to like it, so we make more money off of it.
Yeah, but for your clientele behind the back doors, they might want something a little bit tastier.
What clients behind the back doors?
Do we have cash in this game? Not seeing where we would have money or anything, because I would like to slip him 20.
Yes, you do, but I don't know if you could. I don't know if you if it's on your sheet, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
'cause I
yes,
would
you
like
would
to
do.
slip him a 20 underneath the empty whiskey glass when I slide it back over.
That's a bunch
Was
of
there-
money.
It's a ton of money. Holy cow. In the
In
20s?
1920s.
Wow. You're like a billionaire at that point.
Yeah, I
Are
don't
you
know if it
secretly a billionaire?
I don't know if it keeps up with it exactly the same way as it does in D&D, but I know when you create your character, you actually choose the type of background that your person has, their wealth level, which would dictate basically how much money you would have at your disposal. But it's fine. So you slip him money and say what?
So if you're ever looking for something better, and I'm always looking to invest some money in some cards. If you know any place where I can do some investing in a good hand of cards.
Okay.
Yeah, my credit rating's 70 if that's the number you're looking for.
Sorry, excuse me. No, I don't. I mean, I don't think that's exactly what we're looking for, but it's fine. We'll just go with
Yeah,
it for now.
I thought credit rating was
Like the
that's
ability to borrow.
Just street cred. Your wealth
It
is
actually-
listed under professions or possessions. Sorry.
Well,
If you click on your possessions tab,
spending level says 50 and cash says 350.
so you got 350 in cash.
Well, not that I'm gonna whip it out and show
matter?
350 in cash, but I've got like a roll of ones.
And now you know where it is.
And at the end of the row of ones was a 20.
In my office.
At least now you
Right.
know where it is. That's all that's important.
So he's gonna say, yeah. I mean, we do have card games that run from time to time, but they're not current. We're not running those tonight. You got to come back at the right time, basically. So what he's trying to say is, yes, there are people behind these doors, but today's not that day. They don't do it every day.
And you like hang a sock on the door when nobody's in there and nobody shouldn't come in? Do you put a tie around it when it's occupied by two people?
No, it's nothing like that. It's honestly, you got to be invited. So we have people who decide they want, hey, we're going to play today, and then they invite their friends, and that's kind of happens. So you'd have to receive an invite, but if that's something you really, really wanted to do, I can try to let you know when I get a heads up that it's coming.
Alrighty, I'll just check in with you whenever I'm in the roadhouse.
Okay. I definitely don't forget a face, so I'll remember. Noel, is there anything you want to ask this guy?
Oh, okay. To be honest, for now I'm just listening.
Okay, that's fine.
Uh,
I'm just trying to
trying
give you the
to
chance if
get
you
caught.
want to.
Yeah, yeah. No. I mean, like, I'm here. I know that I'm silent. I'm listening and very precisely.
Okay, you're good. Is there anything else you want to ask him, Dow?
I'm just gonna say, yeah, you'll never forget the face of Andrew Jackson.
He's gonna
Actually,
chuckle
what was the
and then
20
just
back
like
then?
take the cash that you gave him, and stick it in his like little half apron that he's wearing, and then unless you got something else to ask him about, he's gonna go back to the person beside you and say, "What can tap at the table?
Yep,
Say,
no,
what can I get
I'd
you?"
let him go back to work. He's a working man. We definitely found out that there is games that go on here. We also know it's somebody needs to know you to invite you in. So
Right. So, is there anybody else in here you want to talk to?
I'll let somebody else talk before I choose my other person, which I chose.
Romar, you got somebody else you want to talk to? Or Noel, if there's somebody. Like I said, these aren't people that are going to have a name. Like you can get a name from them, but they're not going to be main NPCs that I would have a picture of or anything. But there are multiple people around, so if you would like to try to talk to any of the patrons at the bar to get more information, you can.
Why they're thinking I want to go chat with the guy playing dominoes.
Okay, there's actually
himself.
two guys. Oh, he's not by himself. There's two of them playing.
Oh, two guys playing dominoes.
Yeah, they're playing against each other.
I'll slide over a chair. Mind if I watch?
They're both playing, and they kind of pause what they're doing, look up at you, and they kind of look at each other and go, "I guess so." Nobody's really ever asked to watch before, but I don't see why not. And then the other one sitting across from him just kind of nods his head, yeah, and then they go back to playing.
And I'll ask them if they would like a road soda.
What's a road soda?
Beer.
You got to tell the girl who
Boston.
doesn't drink very often.
If they, it's Boston, it's a road soda.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that. Okay. They both go, no thanks. We got some right here, and kind of hold up their glass. They're already drinking.
Well, I was going to get them another. But now that I know that they're already drinking.
Yeah, and the one that originally spoke to you goes, "Thank you. We appreciate it, but we just bought these."
And a fine choice that is. You guys seem to like play dominoes every time you come here, and
It depends. I bring a stack of cards with me. Sometimes we play other games, but sometimes there's more people than just the two of us. It just depends. But I guess it depends on what mood we're in. To be honest, we don't always play dominoes, but we do enjoy dominoes.
yeah, looking at the layout here, you guys are very talented at dominoes.
He says, "Thanks," and the guy that's sitting across from him just kind of laughs and goes, "Well, that's a compliment I've never gotten before."
Well, one of yous wins and one of yous doesn't, so.
That's true, and it's usually him. And he points to the guy across from him.
May I come like to them and ask if they would like to play poker?
You can. They're gonna look at each other and say, "Well, normally we would take you up on that offer, but we're gonna have to bust up out of here soon," which is kind of why we chose dominoes. We didn't want to get a big poker game going, but maybe next time we catch you in here.
That would be really awesome. By the way, do you know like where can I play poker in local area? Because I'm pretty new here, so wanted just to find some nice place for this.
Well, from time to time, people start up games here. Um, I don't. I don't really know where else to tell you, to be honest, just because this is about the only place that I frequent. There may be poker games that are ran elsewhere in the city, but I wouldn't have personal knowledge of them. We pretty much stay here or go to work or go home. But from time to time, there are games here, but they're all run out. They're all run out here on the table. I don't. If you're looking for a place like somewhere to gamble, I wouldn't know. And before you even ask, he's being 100% truthful. You're talking to someone who knows that there's poker going on at like in the normal part of the bar, just like everyday people playing poker. He has no knowledge that there's a game that is run behind closed doors. He doesn't know anything about it.
Yeah, that's like what I was trying to
Yeah.
get
Yeah, so
invitation for.
Yeah, he's telling you, yeah, we play poker here from time to time. So like if you come at the right time, you may catch some people like what they're doing right now, playing dominoes. You might catch them playing poker, but they're not gambling money. You're basically talking to poor people who have no money to gamble. And so they have no knowledge of what's going on behind those doors.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, you gentlemen have a nice day with your dominoes, and I'll start to stand up and I'll go. One more interesting tidbit. If I was a little short on cash, is there anybody ever in this bar that does small loans?
They kind of look at you, and the one that hasn't spoken as much, that's sitting over to the side, speaks up. Kind of, you could tell his partner that's sitting with him is a little reluctant to speak, but he does speak up, and he goes, "I'm not sure that these are the kind of people you would want to talk to, but there are some interesting guys that come in here from time to time that they do loans, but me personally, I wouldn't borrow money from them. They're the scary type, if you know what I mean."
Yeah, sometimes the bank won't give me $100, and sometimes you gotta go outside the bank.
Oh, I get it. Trust me, I understand. The bank doesn't like to give me money either, but to borrow from these types of characters, uh, is it something I don't think I wouldn't do it. I don't think it's worth it.
They here on
But
special nights.
guess-
They look like regular gangsters with fancy hats.
Hey, you used
No,
to
they
be there.
they they come in here from time to time, maybe just a couple days a week in here. Uh, not always. Sometimes you may go a few weeks before you see them, but it's basically two guys who, yeah, I would describe them as gangsters. That would be the perfect description of them. They're dressed really super nice, suits, hats, ties, all the works. But I don't know when they come, if that makes sense. We just happen to be here. They come in sometimes, but I try to steer clear of them. I don't talk to them.
They talk real funny, like, "Hey, Bugsy, you gotta be like, like you owe me the cash, and I'm gonna break your kneecaps."
I don't know that they use the word Bugsy, but they definitely threaten people.
Alrighty.
And then the one that's sitting across from him is gonna go, "Hey, aren't you with that detective-looking guy over there that was asking Lucy questions?"
Yeah, so just don't tell him that I'm drinking.
We wouldn't dare do that. We're drinking too, so why would we tell on you? But
Right? He wouldn't notice.
I assume he's asking her about Professor Later, right?
Yeah, for some reason this detective has got like, "I'm going to solve this crime of detective. I'm a detective, and leader died, and we need to find leader's hose, and then,
Oh
then
my
his
God.
killer."
Well, I'm asking because I don't know if she told him about this or not. But an incident happened a few weeks ago between these two gangsters and Leader while he was in here.
I am gonna sit back down. Yeah, they probably got a little unruly and a little demanding of the professor.
It I wasn't present for everything that happened, so I don't want to say 100%. Hey, this is what happened, but I know that they confronted him about owing money. More than likely, that's usually what they do.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Professor died owing me money too, so I can only imagine how they feel right now that they didn't get their money.
Yeah. Well, they didn't. They were very. What's the word? They were very aggressive towards him. There was no actual violence. It Now there for a few minutes, it looked like it actually might be, but there was a lot of shouting, a lot of pushing, and threatening, basically, before they made their exit.
And how did everything end?
Oh well, they walked out. They left. Leader was pretty shaken up by it, um, and I know that they also had a few words with Lucy on their way out, but I don't know what they said to her.
I'm gonna thank the gentleman for the information and say, don't share that information with the detective. We don't want him solving this crime.
I was like, sure. We actually kind of liked, what's his name? His name's Charles, isn't it? Charles Leader.
Charles Leader, yeah.
Yeah, so they're gonna call him by his first name. Be like, we weren't best friends with him, but we did play cards with him from time to time, and he was a pretty decent guy. So if we can help with in any way, we'd like to. But unfortunately, we don't know too much.
Yeah. I was at the school where Charles was, very good teacher, and trying not to ruin his name too much if we can avoid it. And then that'll be end of me in their conversation, and I'll tell them all have a good night.
Okay, so they're gonna kind of wave and say, "Of course," and then go back to playing. You can see they're kind of getting close to drinking. They're almost done with their beer. It probably won't be long before they're leaving.
Yeah.
Most of these men that are in here have wife and kids at home, so they can't be out too late. The wife might be suspicious.
Those wives.
I would like to come to bartender and ask when are hours of serving of that waitress? Like when
But-
she's working.
Oh, she's there right now, but she had went back to work because Romar had already questioned her.
Ah, okay. Okay, now I understand because I heard that we cannot ask her any more questions. And I thought
Yeah,
that
well,
she
because
had-
she came away from work, so she temporarily took like a break to talk to him and then went back to work. So you can go and ask her, but she's probably gonna tell you like, I can't spare any more time and just keep working because she is at work.
Yeah, I understand that. Mm, okay, I guess Romar is not here.
Oh, he's still there.
No, I mean like he's still not here in Discord because I had an offer to him, but well, I guess it will be for later.
Right. So y'all can talk to some more people if you want to, but
Mm.
you kind of got most of the information you're going to get.
Alrighty. I'll walk up to the detective, finish my beer in his face, and go, "You're not taking me alive, copper!" And I run out the door.
So dramatic. Okay, so if they're leaving there, then yeah, I assume you guys are meeting up somewhere.
I just wanted to offer him to wait till waitress finishes her day and ask several more questions to her, but I guess maybe next time.
Right. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. I moved my laptop around and I hit the wrong button.
Did you have something you were trying to add to what we were doing? Because if you did, I didn't hear you.
I was trying to get him to tell me what did he tell those guys don't tell the copper he wants to solve this case and we don't need to have him solve it. Did I hear that right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Dal's
Yeah.
character told those two guys that.
If you want to talk to somebody, I would talk to the piano guy.
Well, I'm outside. You guys can finish whatever you're doing. It's no
No, I
big
was-
deal.
Well, I had told him you could talk to the piano guy, but that one incident with those two gangsters is going to be the same thing they all tell you. So you can talk to them, but you're really not going to get much more info.
I wanted to hear the detective walk up and say, "Hey, Mr. Piano Man."
Exactly what I was going to say. What are you doing here?
Earning a paycheck?
As
Yeah,
in
you
the
gotta
song,
think about it.
the
Yeah.
song.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. But you gotta think about during this time, and this is a side note, but like they were like just by being present inside this bar or this speakeasy, they could all get thrown in jail. So like if they just by visiting it, they were risking it. But I guess you love your alcohol, you love your alcohol. Jail time's worth it.
Well, on that times back then, detectives did come in and out. They were after bigger things than the speakeasies.
Yep.
But
They were
also
after the
depends
distributors. They were
on the
after,
detective.
and
Depends
they
on
were
how
also
do
after.
gooder the detective
for-
was.
They were also after their cut from the night's money. Or they'd come back with the cops the next day and bust all the barrels.
Actually, that's
Right.
what I was going to offer. Hey, do you want to earn some money
I'll be right back.
on daily basis?
Okay.
I'll be right back.
So when you leave the bar and they've left the cottage, where do y'all think y'all would have pre-decided to meet up at?
Quite sure Piper said, "Come to my house anytime."
Did you, Piper?
Yeah. Only for you, not for everybody else. Yeah, I don't care where we meet. We can meet at my house. That's cool. Studio apartment, white female working, single wavy. I know how it is.
One chair at the table.
It's only
couple of
me.
cats.
No, just the one.
Breaking the stereotypes
one-
of women during that
The
time.
one pregnant one. It's gonna have 16.
Probably. That one's probably true. She's probably pregnant and it's going to have kittens. But I don't care. I'm not there most of the time.
All right. So for wherever we meet up, I will.
If y'all want to, I'll meet at Piper's. That's fine. I was just trying to let y'all decide where it would be at because I don't know that we discussed it
We
beforehand.
did not.
Nope.
We did not. Mm-mm.
I'm going here. I'm
I
going there.
didn't think
Bye.
about it until like 5 minutes ago, to be honest.
I thought about it when we first started the session and I went, nope, not gonna say nothing because we didn't discuss it.
Nope.
Yeah, so yeah, if we want to meet up at my place, that's fine.
Okay.
It's a neutral place
So-
that we can meet up.
Right. So if you do that, that's fine. But I'm going to give y'all the opportunity because you all learned individual things where you were at. So I'm gonna give y'all the opportunity to speak to each other and discuss however you want to what you found.
I'm trying to remember. Royce, did we take Randy, did we take the paintings with us out of that house, the forgery one?
You were
I don't think
Royce
they
was
would take it.
correct. Randy
Royce
didn't
was
go with
correct.
you.
I wasn't there.
I don't
Royce-
know.
Yeah,
My brain
Royce
isn't
is
working.
Quinn's character.
Yeah, right.
You were right
right.
the first time.
Royce, Timocho, and Randy went to the Roadhouse.
Right. Not Royce. Hold please.
Quinn, what's your character's name?
Arthur,
Arthur.
Randy, and Dimitrov, or however you said.
Yeah,
said his
Mitchell.
name. Yes, they went to the Roadhouse. Royce
Alright.
and you, Piper, went to Lighters College.
I had
Cottage
Okay.
my notes.
College.
All right, cool. Then, yeah, Royce, did we take those paintings with us?
I don't remember if we did or not.
I know we found was it paper or documents that we found in the fireplace, and the paintings were. Oh, that's right. The paintings weren't forgeries. It was the things inside of the books that were made to look like the paintings. Like they had copied I don't know. Well, I'm gonna just say we took it with us. We'll take the forgeries with us.
We found
I know that y'all
papers
took the
in the fireplace that were forgeries.
Yes,
and I
so
know
we'll
that
take
y'all took those papers that were forgeries of the witch trial papers, but it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't the full papers.
Right,
But I know
right.
y'all took those.
So that definitely we're gonna let them know. I'm going to spread them out on the table with documents that we know to be not forgeries, and I'm going to try and find the differences when the rest of the party's coming in.
Well, I imagine that Royce would be with you doing that.
Yeah, we came in the house,
Yeah.
and I come in the front door. Hey, everybody! And I go, ooh, Piper, you're a very nice painter.
That wasn't me. Thanks though.
All criminals say it wasn't me, and
Mwahaha. Mwahaha. You have found me out.
closet painter. By the way, my closet needs some painting when you get some time.
Oh, sounds like that's a you problem.
The only problem I found was that Charles was maybe owing some gangsters some money.
Was he now?
That could be possibility. They weren't happy with him the last time they met up.
But we
But they
know that he's got a gambling problem. Right? That's common knowledge. That isn't something we specifically learned individually.
thought it was common from the lady at the
Right.
college, the
Right.
secretary or
So
whatever.
are we thinking that maybe then he owes the gangsters the money? That's where his gambling is? Like he's got a loan shark?
He was a
That's what-
respectable man. I don't think he would be involved in things like that.
No?
I got some Ocean State property in Kansas to sell you too there, Rice. And
What's
I'll
Kansas?
go pet the kitty.
How do you know she's
Is
got
that
a
a
cat?
euphemism?
Said I had a cat.
Hey, what's the kitty's name?
Clive.
Hello, Clive. May I pet you?
He's an orange tabby cat. He doesn't care. He's a fat lump. Just sits around and does nothing all day long.
There you go.
Where did we go?
We're at my
Piper's
place.
house.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're at my place. Um, not I know it's a different name, and I just don't know what the name is right now. Am I able to tell the difference between the forgery and the real copies now that I have them side by side?
You wouldn't be right away. Quinn's character, so Royce was able to just because he's an academic and he looks at papers. He wouldn't know these papers per
He
se, but
looks
he
at
would
pigs.
recognize original papers versus a forgery. Now, at first, you're not going to be able to, but after looking at them for an amount of time, yeah, you're eventually going to be able to see differences. Especially, aren't you an investigative journalist?
I'm a private detective.
Oh, private detective. So yeah, but it would take you a couple times. So the first couple times you're going to look at it, you're going to have a hard time telling because they're pretty good forgeries. But
Mhm.
eventually, yes, the more you stare at it and the more you study it, yes, you're going to start to notice differences.
Okay.
Piper, this
What
one's
are
a
they?
raven, and that one's a
Forgeries
crow.
of the trial, right?
They're
Yes.
forgeries of the witch trial papers, but it's not all of the papers. You have basically like probably a third of the papers that are forged in your hand or on the table, I guess as she said it.
Oh, I thought there was paintings.
I have paintings too.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, all right. In that case, and see this witch over here, that's a mole, but this witch over here, that's a wart. Definitely differences between these two paintings.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. I
Anytime.
looking at the
Mhm.
looking at what we have, Royce will start pointing out, well, see, this isn't accurate, and see, these change here. I wonder why they would do that.
I'm wondering if those specific wordings are supposed to make like a codex type thing. Does that make sense?
You mean like as a ritual or something?
Well, so we know that this is incorrect. It's a forgery, but the words that are incorrect, do they make a full sentence outside of the words that are written here?
Oh, like a cipher.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
One way to find out, just do a compare.
Thought that's what I was doing.
He'll pull out he'll pull out a piece of paper and start writing them down.
The DM's over there going, "What the hell are they doing? That makes no sense."
No, yeah, I do. You do you. Part of this is y'all investigating, trying to figure stuff out. So by all means,
The only reason I can see for them to change things would be to support a particular conclusion unless they found other papers that gave them more information. But then they would publish those papers, not change these.
Which is why I'm wondering, is it public knowledge that they're trying to get across, or are they trying to pass notes to each other?
It's a mystery.
Do we know what those words are? DM person.
Standing there holding the tabby Clive, leaning over the top of the shoulder looking at the papers. Do I see anything like a map key or symbol keys in the corner?
so what was your question, Nance?
Something similar to
Sorry.
that. It's okay. Something similar to that. Like we were taking out the words that were misspelt or the words that were not correct.
On
The
the
thing that,
forgery,
yes, compared to the real life one.
To see
so
if
there
they
aren't.
formed any kind of sentence or saying or anything that would lead us to, oh, eureka.
Right. So when you look at the forgery, um, there's not any words misspelled. It's almost copy for copy as far as it is. So I say almost copy. So like when you look at the words, it is exactly the same. There's no misspellings. The punctuation is all correct. There's nothing like that. What starts to make you know, like the reason Royce could notice that it is a forgery is small errors like there sometimes maybe the start of the sentence was tabbed too far over. So it would be like, and I say tab because like this would be a typewriter
Right.
back then. So like yes, it would have had a tab. So it would have been errors like that you would have been along and it's like, oh, the original actually has a sentence at the end of this paragraph and the forgery doesn't here, but it's like those kind of mistakes, but they're not very many. It's a pretty good forgery. So like the only reason you knew it was a forgery right away was because you had an academic with you, but even Royce looking at this forgery, like looking at it, is going to tell you if this got in the hands, like if they were trying to sell this to someone who wouldn't look at it and know that it's a forgery, they could get a lot of money for this.
Okay, that makes a difference.
Royce would know that, so they would be able to sell those forgeries probably as the real thing. Like it would be able to most people, it would pass as the real papers.
Is there anything?
To answer that question, there's not a key, and you wouldn't think that there is based on because you're not seeing anything misspelled. Now that is a great, and I'm going to applaud y'all for your creativity there because that is a great thing to look for. But in this situation, it's not. It's just not there because that's not their purpose behind the forgery.
Can I look for differences in handwriting? So basically, usually when people are just making a copy of something and writing on their own, they write a bit differently.
Well,
And
it's not handwritten. What they're looking at would have been like typewriter, which is like old school keyboard. Like it's not handwritten, which is why I'm saying it's passing pretty good. Like it's probably 97% like the original, maybe even more, like 98% like the original. So most people aren't going to notice the difference, but it's not handwritten.
On the handwriting theory, are the paintings brushed by a left-handed or a right-handed person?
It's just normal paintings, Ruben.
Lord, I don't know if I'm right-handed. Most people are right-handed.
Oh.
The way the
The only
pencil
reason I
strokes would
could
go.
think of for forging these documents is, well, if Professor Turner later did have a gambling debt, paying off the debt.
So, do you think maybe? Okay, so we're not thinking that there's any type of cipher in there at all. So, like the lemon with fire to write words on paper, we don't think that would be necessary.
You
Like,
talking about the codes?
yeah, so like when you squirt lemon on a piece of paper and you hold a candlestick to it or a match to it, behind it the words light up on the page.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't feel that's necessary.
Okay.
And the reason I'm
He's watched a
divulging
lot
the
of
information
National
is for,
Treasure.
like, right. Well, that's why I'm commending y'all on this because, like, in other situations, y'all definitely may have to think like this, and it's a good thing that you are. But I'm giving you that Royce would have looked at it, and as an academic, he's going to look at it and probably immediately be like, "Oh, he was trying to sell these papers."
So what? Okay, so why make this book a forgery though? Why, like, of all the books in the library that you can forge, why this particular book? The one that he was specifically looking into. Like, I get it. He made this book and was trying to sell copies of it for profit to make money back. That makes sense, especially
Well,
knowing his
he
gambling
didn't
addiction.
make the original witch trial papers. He didn't make. He was just researching them.
Right.
But these are papers from a long time ago that he is researching, but he didn't write it per se.
Right, but he's
But that
making the
means,
well, we're assuming
yeah,
he's making the copies.
that's a great question
Yeah,
of
it
why
is.
The
witch trial papers.
as the authority, people would question the authenticity of that. They would just accept that these are the actual papers. And with
Right.
nothing to compare them against, how would they prove that they're not?
Right, but why this particular book? Why make a forgery? Why not just if it makes my brain is hurting. Sorry.
I have a feeling in Call of Cthulhu, your brain's gonna hurt a lot.
It's okay. It's okay.
It makes you
Well,
think, like it really
he,
does.
he
Actually,
wouldn't
can
want to
I?
sell the original. He would want to keep that for his own research.
Right.
But
So
somebody else,
do you think maybe he's trying to fake other people out to not finding the correct research so that he can then get the correct research and be the only, but then that wouldn't make sense because he'd have no other documents for his proof, for his findings.
and then he would change the words. He wouldn't want to give them exactly what he has, because then he's giving away what he's working on.
This is true.
It has to pay the debt. That's the only reason that makes sense. Either
Now, what
that,
would
or to have somebody else validate his research while he's continuing, someone that would be in another location, so that they couldn't easily collaborate. You know, it won't be another few years before the internet's invented, so
couple decades?
Looking
Yeah.
at the keystrokes of the typed papers, can we tell if it was an Oliver or a Royal, maybe like a Corona model?
The typewriter model?
Wasn't a lot of typewriters back then.
Oh, I don't. Hold on.
I just
and they
wanted to
were
hurt the DM's
distinct.
brain.
They were. What were you asking for?
Nice vintage Underwood typewriter.
Um, Dimitrov, what were you looking for? You had a
Yeah.
question?
Yeah. I had a question. Can I take a book and just start listing it in putting each page in front of light source? So basically, if there is something hidden, like maybe written in with not ink, it might be visible this way.
Yeah, I had asked about that, and she said that we had no reason to believe that.
You could do that. So like if his character wants to do it, you can do that. So like do
Okay.
it. You're careful not to catch the papers on fire, but there's when you do that, it just looks normal. Like you're not seeing any kind of there's nothing hidden that the
Ah.
flame or anything reveals. And she did ask about that, and I'm saying that Royce's character is basically gonna knows enough about this might be their intentions behind this forgery was probably to sell it. So you don't really suspect that you're gonna find anything hidden behind these papers.
Who would want to? I think the bigger question then is outside of what typewriter made it, because that would make a difference. Who would want to buy in this day and age the Salem witch trial informations? We'd have to find more people who are interested in this subject. And from what we
It would
understand,
definitely
there wasn't very many people who were looking into this.
it would
Think
definitely
about
be a limited pool of people.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Detective Guy,
Yeah.
do you think that your resources at the PD could get us that information?
I can try. But here's my question. All right. So I out of characters. I was rushing around. My wife got home. I was finishing up dinner. What did we figure out? We know that he was trying to forge the papers. And now I come back and they're not handwritten, they're typed.
Yes.
Okay, so what was he trying to forge then?
The book
Because the
itself,
original papers were all handwritten.
yes, and the forgery documents were typed. Like
So
the
they're
information.
really not forgeries then.
Yeah,
Think
that's my
about it.
bad. I misspoke. This
They're not forgeries. They're just
yeah,
notes taken from the originals.
yeah, no, these are forgeries, so that's my bad. I misspoke. Those are handwritten, but it is passed. So the forgery is handwritten and it is passed. So looking at it, you can't tell the difference between the original and the forgery. Like that's the thing I'm trying to get across to you guys. Like this is a very top-notch forgery.
But
It's
it is
very good,
handwritten. It's
but
handwritten.
it
It's
is
not.
handwritten. The
Okay.
typewriter stuff is some of the other notes that you found, like the uh checkbook, like the books that you found on his money was typewritten, and that's my bad. I
Right.
confused
Okay.
the two.
Okay. So that answers now the question I heard somebody ask is why. And another question I heard is who. I would say he's probably, if there's multiple forgeries, he's probably targeting an enthusiast, not a professional. Somebody who just wants to say, I'm a collector and he's got big money and he's just dumping money just to say I've got the originals when he really doesn't. So he's looking to make money that way. But if these are top notch and there's only one of them, then he's probably doing it to pay off his debt, possibly. One. And two, to answer the professor's question, look who we're dealing with. I mean, look at the society we're in. We're at Piper's house, so I can speak openly here. Okay, look
Mhm.
at the society we have all joined. So, and we're talking about witchcraft and the Salem witches. So, yeah, there's something going on here, and somebody there is interested in what's going on. I mean, we're dealing with witchcraft. We're dealing with a bunch of spooky other stuff. So, and yeah, I will contact with I'll contact with people at my at the police precinct to see who what I can find out there. But the best thing is I'm just trying to think. Do you think in 1926 they had university police?
No.
No,
No.
not back then.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not the
But
not what we would.
they
They
did
may
have
have had.
I bet you they had security there.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
probably had security, but not like what we know these days as university police.
Wait, what's university police? 'Cause,
Basically, a police station on campus. They stay on campus, they work on campus, and they're basically just campus police.
They're state bound. They're state police.
I've never heard about this, to be honest.
In the United States, when you go to a major university or to what we call a state school, you will have campus police, which only hold authority on that campus. They do not hold authority out and around the town, but they do.
And they are very much needed. just from my time in college, campus police, if I wanted to go drinking, campus police will come and pick you up and be safe drivers if you're drunk. But they also, if as a woman, if I felt unsafe, I could call their number and they would come take me home, because there's a lot of sexual assaults on campuses, and so that's a lot of that is their job. They try to help prevent that kind of thing.
Yep. They're sometimes good, sometimes bad, just like every other police
Right.
department. But for the
Just
most
like
part,
most humans in general.
right. But for the most part, they're a very good thing to have on campuses, especially with these kids who are just getting out of high school transitioning through.
Right. And if you were like me, I went from high school to college and I had never lived away from home and I was a female, and so it made me feel better to know that like I had an avenue if I didn't feel safe. I had people that would come escort me basically. So for the most
Yeah.
part, they're a good thing. I will say that I did watch them, most of them on campus, or at least the campus I went to, most of them were on mopeds, which is, like the little scooters they ride around. And I watched them pull people over for speeding through campus on mopeds, which used to make me laugh because they weren't in a car. But what they would do was, and I know this is off topic, but they would have like one that had the gun that was riding behind, and he would speed check them. But then they had another campus police that would be further down the road, and he would pull out in front of the car on his moped and make them turn and make them pull over, like get in front of their car basically, and be like, "You need to come over. We need to talk to you." I'm like, how embarrassing is it to get a speeding ticket from a guy on a scooter? Like,
Well,
like
okay,
they do their job.
I will have a really big cultural shock in US, I guess.
You will.
Oh yeah, you will.
Mhm.
There'll be lots of differences. Some good, some bad.
Okay, so both of the notes for the Salem Witch trials are written, not typed.
Yes, that
Yes.
was my mistake. I should have caught that sooner. I'm glad he caught it.
It's all good.
Yes,
all good.
what I was trying to get across is that you also brought his books basically from his
Yeah.
debts, and y'all spent time looking at that. That stuff was typed.
Okay.
Now there are
Well-
some handwritten notes that like receipts basically he threw in there, but his actual books themselves with the subtractions, like plus money here, minus money here, most of that is done in typewriter and then just like little notes that he's added along the way of like
Really? Why wouldn't he use a journal like everybody else?
So,
Why would he
Right.
type it? Why would he type it out? Take the
Because he's a
time.
professor.
Take the time to do that.
because he's a professor.
Because he's a
Well, yeah,
professor.
but if you're using if you don't use the journal is set out and it's specific. I mean, you can't get more organized than an old accounting journal. I mean, those things. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
That's what
guys
he
ever
did, though.
actually looked at? Have y'all ever actually seen one of those?
What if he was a typing teacher though?
No, he was a history professor.
On typing.
On typing.
No, but he
Yeah, okay,
typed a
so
lot, and a lot of his notes that like his personal notes from his classes and stuff are typed, and so
Okay.
it's
That leads me to
more of a
believe that
more of a
leads me-
personal preference, really.
I believe that leads me to believe that he's dictating it to his
Girl Friday.
well the student, his assistant,
Mistress.
his assistant.
The college professor's plaything.
Yeah, that leads me to believe that she's typing while he's dictating. But as
I
far as
believe that
who, we could also go to the local museum and talk to the curators and see what we can find out from them as well.
did we have local museums on the Salem witch trials in the 20s?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, there were museums. Yeah,
I'm sure.
Okay.
especially
yeah.
or that section of the world.
So then I'm assuming then maybe we should just get some sleep and head at it tomorrow. Unless if somebody else has some other options. No? Cool.
I wonder if we looked at his correspondence, if we might be able to pick out someone who might be interested in these works.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But we didn't pick up his mail.
Actually, I guess it might be interesting to check if there is forgery and his notes were done by the same machine. Because what if they were done with basically two different sources? Then we cannot think about his assistant.
Yeah, I think she's letting on to know that she knows more than she's telling us. And we just didn't get high enough to be able to. I truly think she knows more than she's letting on. Am I the only one that thinks that?
I was thinking just the opposite, that she's holding back.
That she knows more than she's letting in.
Yep, that's
Yep.
what I think.
Yep.
And that she was still in shock because she truly was flipped out by his body, where the girlfriend wasn't. That gets me. She didn't seem as shocked.
Or was she acting?
Well, if you remember your conversation with her, she told you she was shocked at the body, but you caught her a few days afterwards when she was back at work, and she did make the comment to you that, like, am I grieved over his death? Sure, but I still have to make my money. So, like, you don't know for really that she wasn't upset, but when you were talking to her at work, she wasn't acting upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's had more time to process.
Well, her exact words, I think, were a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do, as in, like, I'm
Yeah.
upset about his death, but like life goes on.
Yeah. That goes just for that. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying either way.
No.
I'm just saying she did.
No.
She did
That
say
I was
that.
gonna say
So
some. I was gonna say something else, but it's basically that's coming from somebody who is. It sounds more like a working girl's thing than somebody who is actually a girlfriend type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're calling her
that's
a
fair.
prostitute. I hear you.
Not so much a prostitute, but yeah, it's just somebody that wasn't as close to him as possibly he was to her, or something like that, or it was friendship with benefits type thing.
Friends with benefits.
Uh,
I don't have any of those. Um,
doesn't surprise. Yeah, why you don't? Why not?
You
mm,
need
What
to
about
order
Bernie?
pizzas with extra anchovies.
well,
Yeah.
I don't have friends with benefits because, it gets messy.
Bernie's going to be disappointed.
Yeah. Who's Bernie?
Who's Bernie?
It's
Let's
not in
not
the
go
Call of
into that.
Cthulhu universe.
Let's not go into that one. That's a whole nother story.
So,
We'll never get back on track.
but we didn't take any of his mail, right? Like we
Nope.
got just
No, I don't.
books and stuff.
I don't think so.
Now,
Does he have any around? Oh, we're at her house. We're not there.
Yeah, we're at my house. Yeah.
So,
but his assistant may have that information.
Do we want to go see her in the morning?
I would say that would be better than now.
Well, yeah, because it's in the middle of the night now.
is it? I didn't think it was that late.
Yeah,
It's
it was
not really
nighttime.
in the middle of the night, but it's not quite midnight yet. But it's It's pretty late.
Yeah, we left at nighttime to go visit the house and go to the bar.
Okay.
Quinn,
What
that
was that sound?
Clive?
who is she? That if Clive did that, Clive needs to go outside, please. Um, all right, so what are we gonna rest on it, think on it, get some sleep, and then tackle the secretary tomorrow?
It would be
Tackle
very
the
inappropriate
secretary.
for us to sleep here.
Says who? I got 2 extra rooms.
I'll go back to my place. It's not appropriate.
It was like, this is Act 226. I'm not staying here.
I got
They're
some
gonna hang
pizzas to
me.
deliver tonight.
Yeah.
We can meet up somewhere in the morning.
Yeah. I'll head out to my place and I'll say something. I'll throw out the name. I don't have the map, but I'll throw up a name of my favorite little out of the way breakfast joint, so we can meet there.
Yep, sounds cool. I will go to my place.
And Randy will go make pizza deliveries. Pizza delivery. Extra anchovies.
Candygram.
Okay. I actually had to go to the bathroom, so y'all want to take a break right here real fast?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Here.
Mm-hmm.
I figured I may not be the only one that has used the restroom.
You are. That's okay.
Yep.
I'm
Only one.
probably not.
But in 30 minutes, everybody. Okay.
To Amelia.
I am thinking I have to go to work at some point.
That's a thing.
Hey, Chief, I got a case. I'll update you later.
Yeah, you probably would have to go to work at some point. Yes.
I had to go deliver pizzas last night. And I wonder
Yeah,
if I
I'm
got paid.
investigating a double murder. I think I know who might have done it. I'll let you know. It's a young kid.
they
I'll
have-
let you know.
Did they have pizza in the 20s?
They don't. They do now.
They most certainly did.
They called it pie though. Look, what is that song? Look at a bigger pizza pie in the sky.
It's in a book. We'll take a look.
My favorite pizza place in Boston was 1926, Regina Pizza. It's when they opened where they did in the North End.
Yeah, I just Googled it because I was curious. And it says that pop pizza actually started coming around in the US in 1880, and between 1880 and 1920 during the Great Immigration Boom. So maybe the joints themselves didn't exist in 1880, but pizza was here.
I thought the pizza was an American invention. It's not an Italian invention.
Oh, it's definitely Italian. We just changed it.
It's
Or
Italian,
may
but
have changed.
I'll be honest with you. Italian pizza is just terrible. Like I've been to Italy many times, and every time I tried pizza there, it was terrible.
But like Italians see all the stuff
my
we put on
God.
pizzas and are like they've ruined it because they don't put all the stuff on pizza that like we do. Especially not pineapple.
Sauce, mozzarella, and basil.
Okay, I agree with their decision on pineapple that it does not belong to pizza.
I mean, I do too, but not everyone does.
First time we run into a witch, we're tying him up and putting him in front of the witch.
So
Fix him, fix him.
going to Gabriella and talking to her or Amelia.
Amelia.
We're gonna meet up at
Yes.
the breakfast place and do a breakfast club thing.
Who are you? Don't
Well-
you?
Yeah, because we all need to get together.
We won't go there.
I mean, okay, I'll be honest.
I
I've
mean, y'all
eaten.
can meet up for breakfast, or you can just meet at the university. You know she's gonna be there. Or not. Like, I don't know if Arthur's character wants to bounce on this one temporarily so he can actually go to work.
I'll meet up with Arthur and see what he's doing. He did suggest that we go to the place, so I'll go over there. Meet the breakfast club. What's
So
up,
is everybody
detective?
going to breakfast?
That was 3 people at once. Say that again.
Oh, it was only 2. It was me and Nance. I said, is everybody going to breakfast?
And
Yes,
all
we
I
were
said
supposed to meet
was-
for breakfast.
Yep.
All I said was, "What's up, detective?"
And I drew a tree on a napkin.
Royce will go to breakfast. This is the most important meal of the day.
Agreed. And I got 4 eggs. Got hash browns. I got a big breakfast in front of me.
In the middle of the depression, how do you got eggs in front of you?
He's a cop.
Ah, I see how it
Surprised
is.
it's not- Surprised it's not
Probably
donuts.
busted somebody last night.
All good. I'm gonna sit down and just have my black coffee.
Oatmeal, coffee, orange juice.
I guess I'll grab a steak.
That's what my grandfather eats.
He was around in the 20s, wasn't he?
That's what I say to you. My character says to you.
Oh,
Sounds like a good breakfast to me. I'd be fine with oatmeal.
Shredded wheat. shredded wheat was the thing.
Nah, shredded wheat is nasty. Grits.
It's what
So what
my,
y'all
Now
talking
that's
about?
what
my
we're talking
man's
about.
Oh, so you're in Boston. Grits. You're funny.
No,
Do they
but
not have grits in Boston? Is that what you're trying to say, Dow?
no, they don't. Not in the New England.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
They don't believe in grit.
Very
Mm-mm.
rare to find it in New England, and when you do, you order it.
We'll take it for advantage down here then, because you can get it anywhere.
Yeah,
Although Johnny cakes are huge up here, the corn cakes.
those are good. Those are good. I remember those.
So what y'all talking about? You're all eating breakfast. So what's going on?
Talk about going to talk to Amelia. Maybe what are y'all's thoughts about the museum?
Museum sounds like a good idea. Thought you had to go to work.
He phoned it in.
I'll handle it. I'll handle it.
You're the boss man.
But,
I was at work last night. I'm waiting to see my tips into my bank account.
Yeah, how is your pizza job going?
At least 2 anchovies every night.
It just sounds gross, man. Sounds gross.
Wait, how can pizza? Okay, were there telephones on like those times? I really thought that they appeared much later.
Mm-mm.
no,
No, they had them then.
How
They
can
actually
someone?
They actually had them on the side road where you could actually put, old payphones. Boom.
Yeah, old school payphones. Like not everybody had a telephone, but they were around.
Okay. Because like,
There definitely weren't cell phones.
Yeah, there'd be a booth like in this restaurant. Say this restaurant was up to date. There'd be a booth, and you'd go into the booth, shut the door, put your coin in there, and talk on the phone.
Hmm. But not everybody had a phone. Like you had to be calling someone who you knew had a phone. Like so it's typically offices, things like that.
Yeah.
Only the rich people had them in their homes.
Although in 1926 they were starting to become more and more popular.
Yeah,
All
that was
right.
coming around. Okay, so y'all are leaving here to go to Amelia's.
Yep.
She's down
What did you call her earlier? Gabrielle?
Gabriella. Yeah.
Where'd you get that from?
I have no idea.
Okay. Yeah, so you're gonna head back to you've already been there, obviously. Right beside Professor Leader's office is Amelia's. And when you get there, her door is locked. Y'all kind of stand there for just a few minutes, um, maybe about 3 minutes or so, and she comes around the corner carrying a whole stack of papers and sees you guys and goes, "Oh, how long have y'all been standing here? I'm so sorry. I got held up talking to someone."
Hours.
Well, that can't be true. I've only been in class for like an hour. So you couldn't have been, you weren't here when I left.
I'll just give her a big smirk when I say hours. Let her know I'm just messing
Right.
around.
Yeah.
I pull out my pipe.
Well, she rushes past you guys and goes, "Give me just a second," and fumbles around her papers and gets a
I'll grab
key
her.
and she
I'll grab her
unlocks.
papers so she doesn't drop them.
Thank you so much. Like you would not believe how many times that I have actually dropped them. And she
And I'm going look. I'm kind of, and as I grab them, I'm looking. Do I see anything that might be what I need? I might want to see.
no, these are all student papers, like handwritten papers that got turned in class.
Okay.
So there's stuff she has to grade because she is still a TA or teacher's assistant, if you don't know what that stands for. Um,
You happy?
so yeah, she after she thanks you, she pulls out a key, and old school key too, and unlocks the door to her office, and then goes, "Please, please come in," and then steps inside. And once you get in there, she's
I'll
going
look at
to.
Piper and tell her, I'll wait for Piper to go through.
Okay.
Listen, if you wanted to look at my butt, dear sir, all you had to do was ask, and I'll walk through, smirking.
Uh,
Royce will look down at his feet.
I'll gag as she walks by. No, I won't do that. No.
He's rude.
We know all men look when we're walking by. We don't need to tell you to do so. You do it anyways. Anyhow, yeah, I'll go in.
Piper's a flapper, isn't she?
She is. She is.
Well, when you get
Yep.
in there, she takes the papers away from Arthur and thanks you again for holding them, and she goes to where her desk is and she sets them down, and then sits down at the chair. There's a few chairs in her office, probably only two. So if two of you want to sit down, you can. But she sits down behind her desk and says, "Well, I wasn't expecting to see you guys today. What can I do for you?"
Is there a bookshelf in her office?
There's one that's kind of behind her desk. It's not very, very big, but yeah, she does have one.
Royce will be busy scanning the titles.
I'll ask her, do you mind if I walk into the professor's office?
I don't see why not. Nobody's been in there in a while, but sure, go ahead. And if you actually try to enter through the door, like go back out her office and go around to the main door, it's locked, but she can unlock the door between their offices for you.
Wait, wasn't he found in the office?
In his office, yes.
So nobody's been in a while means that
Nobody's
nobody.
been in since you guys, so in a few days. Since
Okay.
y'all came, no one's been in there since then. So basically, she's saying, sure, I don't know why you'd want to go in there because nobody's been in there and you've already looked, but I'll unlock it for you.
Okay, cool. Gotcha now. Okay, we're all on the same page.
She's just a little like her personally would be confused on to why you would want to go in there again, but she's not going to stop you from going in there.
Well, just
No, you're fine. I'm just
Okay.
saying, I don't care what you do. I'm just saying Amelia is going to be like, huh? But sure, go in. But yeah, she gets up and unlocks the door for you. She doesn't open it, but she puts the key in it and unlocks it so you can go in there if you would like.
okay. And I'm just doing that, and then let Quinn do what he's doing, and then when it's my turn, let me know.
So yeah, you're fine. What I don't know if you're looking for anything specific. Most like just about everything that is on her bookshelf is textbooks. A lot of them are books that you would recognize that would probably be pertaining to her courses that's on that bookshelf. There's a few more towards the bottom that are kind of personal books, but they're classic books, probably just entertaining reading. So like if she's got spare time, she probably reads them during the day. But you don't see anything even remotely close to the Witch Trial papers on there if that's what you're looking for.
That's exactly what I was looking for. Anything
Yeah,
that
I
was
kinda
in it
figured.
would be in the right
Yeah.
genre.
Yeah. So I mean she's got history books up there because she was leader's TA, and so she's still helping with the classes. Like another adjunct professor would have taken over the classes that he was teaching, so she's still helping that professor. But that professor is not of any importance, so y'all wouldn't have to worry about that. But so she is still being a TA. So you do see history books up there, but not anything relating to the witch trials.
All right, cool.
When you're
It says
finished
a
with
nice.
Romar, I'm going to then go and ask my question.
Okay. So
Hey,
what you doing in the office, Romar?
All right, go ahead and have her ask her questions and then come back.
Are you
Okay.
sure?
Ditches.
It's just would like to see his personal correspondence.
That's what I was looking for.
I'm thinking she has them. I don't think that they're on his desk. We've looked in there before. I think she has them or knows where they might be. That's why I was going to ask her instead of just going in.
Right. She's gonna say, "Well, I have some of his personal correspondence, only the stuff that would come here, obviously. I don't know if you're looking for anything specific, but I haven't touched it." And she points over to, like, I don't know if it'd be like basically a basket, not a modern plastic basket, but
But
like an old school wicker basket that's sitting on top of the bookshelf, and it's got a lot of letters and stuff in it. And she points and says, "You can have it. I don't know if anything of importance is in there, but he hasn't. We haven't really gotten much since he died, but everything that's come in, I put up there."
all right, Mr. the detective, sir. It's all yours.
Okay. So while I'm in his office, I am looking, seeing if he has any correspondence on or around his desk. And then
The only correspondence that he had on his desk, I can't remember if y'all found it in his office or at his house, but it was from that a newspaper journalist person who was doing a story.
Yeah, that was at the.
I can't remember what, but so was that at the house?
No,
I
that was
think
at
y'all
the
found out.
office.
Was it at the office? So I think that you've already found the correspondence that was in the office. Everything else you see there, you may see some notes that's like memos that would come inter office memos, like from the dean, like Dean Fallon or other professors, but nothing of really importance. Just like mm, everyday stuff. Like stuff from the dean, we would have to have your final grades in by students' grades need to be in by this date, like that kind of stuff.
okay.
You don't see any other correspondence.
Okay, so I'm gonna sit in his desk. I'm gonna sit in the chair. And how old is the desk?
It's
Fancier?
it's a little bit fancier. You can look at it and tell he's had it for a little while, but it's not an antique by any means. It's probably relatively new. He's
All
probably
right.
had it a few years.
All right. So does he have like one of those roll top desks in there off to the side anywhere? Do you know what I'm talking about?
The
I do know
Rolodex.
what a roll top desk is, yes.
Okay. Does he have one there?
Just remind you that I did major in history in real life.
Okay.
I have
I did
seen roll
I
top
did know
desks.
that. I did know that.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't, but a lot of those roll top desks came with what? A secret drawer. A lot of them did. My mother-in-law has one, and hers has a secret drawer in it.
I
So
think when we went through his office, we found that rolled up desk and we looked to
You
see if
did.
there was any, and there wasn't any secret drawers.
No, not on that one. There wasn't. So they did check it already.
all
There is
right,
one in
so
there.
but that's my next thing is I'm sitting at his desk and I'm going to start looking, open the drawer, check for buttons and the put the like a knot on the looking for a knot to see if that's a button. I'm looking for something that might, because I know he's hiding something, so I want to find it.
Yeah, I'm double checking to make sure I didn't
can
miss something.
I Like, while guys are checking, can I ask her if she was doing the typing job while he was dictating in university?
Very rarely. Any of the typing I did was for my own stuff. I did a lot of the grading, things like that. So if I needed to type up something to give to him, I mostly did it. I very rarely actually typed for him. He did most of that himself.
All right. And do you know what is chance that he might have been making copies of which trophies recently?
Copies.
Yes.
Oh, I gotta pull everything back up. I don't. I don't have any personal knowledge of him making copies. If that was something that he was doing, that was definitely something that he did not do in front of me. But I would.
And did
I
he
think I
have
told
any
y'all this
authority?
before. No, go ahead.
And did he have any authority to do this? Like, was he allowed?
No, if he was making copies, that's definitely illegal.
All right. But if you were to make a copy of some old document, like real old one and real nice copy, where would you make it?
I'll be honest, I really don't know. That's not really my kind of thing, but um, he must have had some kind of connection somewhere. But I'm not. I'm trying to remember. He doesn't have a lot of visitors, and there's only one visitor I can think of that sticks out that would come kind of often, but wasn't really welcome. But he would still show up, and that's a former student.
All right. And can you please tell me where I can find the student?
Oh, I don't know where he. I don't know where you would find him at, to be honest. I don't keep up with him. I can give you his name, but I don't know where he stays.
All right. Can you please give me his name?
Yeah, it was Anthony something.
Hmm. And do you remember which year of studies he is in?
Which what?
Which year of studies he is in?
Oh, he's no longer a student. He was, but he's no longer a student.
Why is he no longer a student?
Oh, that's a great question, Nance. I don't remember. Hold, please.
Nance didn't ask him, Piper did.
Certainly not because his parents refused to pay.
No, I bet it was because they caught him cheating on the entrance exam.
Oh, I lied to you. This isn't the former student. He is a. I'm sorry. He's not a former student. He's a current student. He's a history student. Um, it's another person that I was thinking of as a former student. That's my bad.
Getting your games mixed up and whatnot.
Yep. Well, no, I got two of the NPCs mixed up.
Yeah, this happens. All right. So, and I
Right.
should
So
remember
yeah,
his surname.
he's a current history student.
Okay. And can you please try to remember his surname?
Ah, I think it starts with an F. It's something weird like flounder, or I'll be honest, he wasn't a very nice guy, and when he did come here, he kind of creeped me out a little bit, so I didn't really talk to him.
What exactly was he doing that creeped you out?
That's just the way he behaved. He would he would say weird things and talk about weird stuff that was like I don't know, like ghosts and stuff, and it made me uncomfortable.
Anthony Flinders.
Yeah, she can't remember his name, so she's saying Flounder. But like, yes, that's the name she's trying to give you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm just coming back to guys and like explaining everything I heard. And what I think, guys, maybe we can go Dean Dean and ask to organize us a meeting with the student.
Yeah, so now that he's not a former student, and I'm remembering correctly, she's gonna say, I don't know what classes he takes, but if you wanted to find out where maybe he was, you could probably talk to the dean. The dean probably could help you locate him.
So, guys, what do you think?
To the
I'm
dean, I
still
suggest.
I'm still in the other room looking for searching.
You are.
Yes, you are. You are breaking up currently. I don't know if that was just me or
Don't break up with me, Romar. I didn't do anything.
was he robotic for anybody else or just me?
No, I was in the kitchen. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No, you're good. So,
But no,
it does that sometimes, and you don't know if it's on your end, like, and
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't know if it was me or you.
okay.
Okay, so let me.
I
So
rolled
yeah,
a spot hidden. I don't know if that helps.
it would be successful, and that's great. That's a great roll that you did there, but there's not anything hidden in there. So you look, but there's nothing really in there left for you to find. So this desk that you were sitting at does not have any hidden contraptions. Now, you are correct that most roll top desks would have that back in that day, but if he's hiding something, it's not here.
In this desk or that desk, but there might be something in this room, maybe. Explain the
Well,
room. Describe the room.
they did find some stuff hidden in his house, if you remember.
Yeah.
They found like a box that had like a fabric that came back and there was stuff behind it. So they did find that. So he did hide some stuff, but he doesn't have anything hidden here, probably for reasons.
Because it was too easy for us to find it.
But if you could find it, then I don't know, people like the dean could find it. He wasn't
All right.
exactly stupid, you know.
Did you get
He
my
was
message?
paranoid. I did. I'm just sorry. I
Okay.
just hadn't responded to you.
You're fine.
If you would like to take all of his correspondence, she is not going to stop you. She told you you can have it. So if you want to take it, you can. There is
they're going-
not. If there is anything in there that is of importance that the school would need, she's already taken it out, and it wouldn't be anything that y'all would need anyways. It would be some stuff that the dean would require. That was school related. Everything else she gave to you.
Okay.
So, guys,
Are y'all
let's
gonna talk
go
to
and
the
search
dean
for
now?
this. Sorry.
No, what'd you say?
Ah, I accidentally interrupted you, but basically we said
No,
the
you're
same
fine.
thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you're fine. That's the problem with Discord. Sometimes you start talking at exactly the same time. Find him. Oh, there he is. I said the dean is Bryce Fallon, if you remember, and he
Yep.
is going to be in his office. So you are going to head to talk to him.
I think we spoke with him earlier too, didn't we, Bryce?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. We don't
Yeah,
like
he's the
him.
guy.
We were sent by the
Yes.
society to speak with him before,
Yeah,
or
he's
to
the
start
guy
the
you
investigation.
spoke with originally.
Yeah, we have spoken to him, but right now we need his help in order to organize a meeting with one of the students.
Anthony Flinders is what I tell you the student's name is, who I believe it is. And he was the he was um,
He's a history student that was bugging.
yeah, he was
Creepy.
he's a current history student, but he was also w- how did the girlfriend say? He wasn't he like
He was speaking about weird stuff like ghosts and so on.
no, the girlfriend from the bar, the waitress from the bar. I'm trying to remember how she put it. I want to say he wasn't the one that was beating up the professor, but he was.
She said he was a creepy little college boy.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, but I forget. She said something else, and I can't remember what it was. I thought.
The only thing is that she's got related to him is that he was seen hanging around the neighborhood, as in like she saw him around before
Oh,
Peter died.
around the roadhouse before he died.
Well, pretty much everywhere he was kind of following him. She led you to believe that.
Okay, that's what it was. All
He's a
right.
stalker.
All right. So, do you, Mr. Dean person, know anything about this kid here?
Um, sure. Is there anything specific you would like to know?
Mm, I mean, it'd kind of be a little impertinent to ask where he is at this moment, but we hear that he's been stalking the professor lately, and we just kind of want to get an understanding as to why.
Oh, well, I don't know if stalking would be the right word. I know he has a big interest in the witch trial papers, and so I know that he was trying really, really hard to get Professor Leader to let him work on the papers with him, but I don't think that Leader was interested.
Hmm. All right.
Yep.
Well, do you know where we could locate him or where his next class would be for us to be able to have a conversation with him?
Well, he's currently in a class, but they should be done in about 30 minutes or so. And he's going to tell you what building to head to and say that if you walk there, you only have to wait about 15, 20 minutes and he'll be done. And you can speak to him on his way out.
That'll work for us. Thank you very much, sir.
So you can't miss him. He typically has on a sweater that has the M for the university on it. So you should be able to see him. He should stick
Wouldn't
out.
that wouldn't that be like every student here almost?
No. And I'm about to show you why. He almost looks like a cheerleader.
Uh,
Is he a cheerleader, though?
It doesn't say that he is, but that outfit looks like a cheerleader.
No, I haven't seen it. Give me a
So
second.
that's why I said
19,
no.
1926 hip a yuppie.
Right.
No.
So, but yeah, he's wearing like a white turtleneck. And like, no, not every student is dressed that way. So like, he should stick out a little bit.
Yeah, so that's a Piper. That's a Piper attachment. That's somebody that Piper should approach him.
So he's not like a letterman or anything. Okay.
She's got a thing for
I
young
mean,
men.
maybe he is. It doesn't specifically say that he is. Maybe he is, and that's why he's dressed that way. That may be what Letterman looked like back then. I don't really know.
Okay.
Dean
It
Fallon,
doesn't
I'm
say that he's a
sorry to
letterman or. Go ahead.
Dean Fallon, I'm sorry to bother you. I know I should make an appointment for this, but as I came to work with Professor Leiter, and as his unfortunate situation has left someone having to teach his class, would it be appropriate for me to put myself forward as a permanent position for that class?
Well, I didn't know that you'd be interested, but if you are, that's definitely something we could try to work out.
I would
Is your
definitely be
background in
interested.
history? Your Bryce's?
Yes,
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember.
history and literature specifically around the occult.
Okay, then yeah. You would definitely, with your background in occult, you would definitely recognize the forged papers with the witch trial.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
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 So,
That's,
yeah. So it'd be right up your alley, and looking for these papers is like right up your alley too. Um. So yeah, he's gonna he's gonna basically tell you, yes, that's definitely something we could work out. I think you should probably focus on finding these papers first, but when that's over, we'll definitely discuss it and get and see what we can do.
that would be excellent. And if any of the students might need some help, I definitely would make myself available for them in the meantime.
Okay, I will definitely let any students that come my way that may need it, I'll let them know. I appreciate you being willing to do that.
Thank you, sir. I just want to help out. Professor Leiter was a great man, and it's a shame that others have to pay for what has happened to him.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Our university has lost a good professor, so I appreciate you being willing to try to step up there.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate your time.
Yes, thank y'all. And do you need anything else from me?
no, I think we're good. We're gonna head over to find Jonathan. What's his name? Sure, Jonathan.
Anthony?
Anthony.
Anthony Flinders.
Good
Little
Lord.
Anthony.
Your memory is like 10 out of 10.
She's been sick for 2 days.
I have been.
The picture's right there on the screen.
I clicked it away.
Oh, Miss
Yeah.
Anal.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's why you want me
Okay.
to look at your butt all the time. Maybe that, I don't know.
Because I have a
Well,
nice, lovely butt, so that is why.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that out loud.
I should have gave you these. I'm gonna give you this to catch you up because
That was a little below the
terrible.
belt.
That's what Lucy's soul looked like when you talk to the girlfriend. That's her.
Oh, okay.
I'm slacking on showing you these people. So here you go. That's Amelia.
Oh, that's
Oh, she
Rand.
looks like
She's right up Randy's alley.
just a little girl.
I mean, she's old enough to be in college, but yeah, she looks like a baby.
Uh,
There you go.
I don't
That's
know.
everyone that you met. So like the other ones you can still see. The Dean, Dr. Wheatcroft.
Lucy Stone looks like Noel. Noel could hook up with Lucy.
I swear.
So it does say that she's a postgraduate student, which means she's in upper grad school. So she's probably at least 20. She just must have a baby face. 'Cause she does look real young. They could have done better art for that.
Who, Amelia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
She looked like she
postgrad,
was like 4.
that would be like, 22, wouldn't it? If you graduated high school at
That's
18.
unless she went a little bit early, but yeah, I mean she's in her 20s, but they made her look like she's 14.
Mhm.
All right, so y'all are headed out to where I guess the history lectures are held.
And as
Yeah,
we're
much
walking
about
out,
history.
as we're walking out, I kind of walk up next to the professor, go, kissing up to the boss, are you?
To whom? Oh, him.
You never know what may turn up. I've got to look to my future.
Yeah, this is true.
Besides, if any of the students come looking for assistance, you never know what kind of information we may find.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
And
Okay, guys.
it is the depression.
Right. What is it, Noel?
I was just saying that. Sorry, guys. I guess I might be going because on my time is 4:22 a.m. and I'm just falling asleep.
Okay,
So
you're
sorry.
good.
I will get going.
Alrighty,
We're gonna
buddy.
go for a little,
Yeah.
just a little while longer, but we'll catch you up next time.
Yeah. Thanks. And for the game. Thanks for the game, guys. It
No
is
problem.
real pleasant.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Sleep well.
I wanna worry then.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how Bernie does it either. Like,
Anyhow,
yep. So y'all still talking?
Antipsychotic meds. They go without sleep and they take antipsychotics though so they don't go crazy. Because if I went that long without sleep, I would go slap crazy, or they'd be putting me in jail.
all right.
Just
So
being a smart ass, I don't know. I'm just saying.
I know. I didn't think you were serious.
okay,
What were you saying,
so
Piper?
like we're getting through the city, right? Or not the city. We got done with that. We're headed through the um
Through campus.
through campus, and we're gonna be at that building. Now I'm assuming it's not set up like we have it now, where you can't get into that building without having a key card to get into that building. 'Cause that wasn't a thing in the 1920s.
Oh,
No,
I
you
probably
can
have the
go
right
in.
key.
Yeah, like we could do it either way to where they could lock the door. It would be an old school door, like with the old keys, you know. It wouldn't have a key card. But
Could we
probably,
lockpick it?
I mean, you wouldn't have to because I'm thinking the door is probably unlocked and what's gonna be so like the main door is gonna be locked so you can get into the lecture hall itself, but there's gonna be individual classrooms, so you're gonna walk up to where his classroom is, that door will be locked. So you wouldn't be able to go inside it, you would have to wait outside, but you'd be able to get inside the building
Okay.
and just wait for class to end.
All right. So do we want to go sit there and wait, guys?
Yep.
What kind of lecture is it?
It is actually like a basic history course, and by that I mean as someone who took history, when you first start your first years, it's just like normal history, but then when you get into like your junior and senior year, you know, that's when you take your specialization courses. So, he's in what would be like Western Civ.
Then Royce wouldn't be interested. I was just
No,
thinking
and
if he would try and sneak in and listen in.
Well, you probably, I mean, it's gonna be a wooden door, old school. You might be able to catch a little bit of it just coming through the door. You're not gonna hear everything, but you probably could listen in just a little bit if you wanted to, just through the door.
If it's basic intro, that's not interesting.
Yeah. He's like he's a sophomore, so he's in his second year, and so uh, it would be like Western Civ 2. And if you can look in and actually see the students, most of them look bored out of their minds.
Exactly the way he would be.
Like I took a Civil War class that like was one of my favorite classes. It was a whole semester of nothing but the Civil War.
Hmm.
And I took one that was the history of naval warfare. And it was all we started with like the Spanish Armada and stuff and came up through pirates and all that good stuff. It was anyways, the specialty classes is where it's at. That's where you had the most fun. You
Yeah,
actually get
my
to
my
know
history
it goes a
degree,
lot deeper than the little brush of knowledge that you learn in basic history courses.
yeah, my history degree was in the medieval period, and we spent two courses on the Japanese medieval period. Learned all about the samurai and the different kingdoms and such.
Yeah, see that's fantastic. So, anyways, they all probably look bored. This is just like a normal history class that everybody has to take, and so he's in there, but he is a history major. But the session ends and everybody starts filing out. He's kind of you kind of watch. He's taking his time. He doesn't know you're out there, but he just kind of got that personality about him. He's like taking his time gathering his stuff, joking and kidding with some of the guys around him, and he's one of the last people to leave the classroom, but he eventually comes out.
Um, hey, buddy, got a question for you.
He when you speak, he stops, he turns and says, "Who are you? And why should I want to talk to you? I don't know you."
I am
Ooh.
working home. I got this. I got this, big guy. Thanks for the protection. Um, I am actually working on the Salem witch trial murders, doing a paper, and I hear you're the guy to talk to.
Oh yeah, who told you that?
The dean.
Oh, I didn't even know that he knew that.
What does
Yeah,
Piper look like, dressed like?
Who, me?
yeah.
Yeah, what does Piper look like, dressed like?
I'm dressed more feminine, male chic.
Feminine
What-
male chic.
So, like, I'm wearing a business suit. It's very much what my picture looks like. My token picture.
Gotcha.
You're
Like,
totally
it's a suit, but it's feminine. So it's not like I'm in a dress or anything, or a skirt.
Wearing a
You're
power suit.
scandalous.
I am. You gotta press the waters, you know? So, yeah, the professor told me that you were, or not the professor, the dean told me you were working on this and that you would be the guy from this college that I should talk to.
I don't
You
know why
know,
he told you working on it because I was trying to work on it, but Professor Leader wouldn't let me. But I
what?
definitely am interested in it. What is it that you want to know?
Well, Professor Leeden wouldn't let you work on it? Well, why not? The more knowledge getting out of it, the better.
I mean, you tell me. I don't really know. I just know that I kept offering my services and I kept getting told to leave.
What a turd. Huh. All right, so what do I want to know? I want to know what you know because the information I have isn't all that much.
Okay. What is it that you want? Like, what information do you have? What are you looking for?
Well, I have this book, and I'll show him the forgery book. And I can't make heads or tails of it. Not knowing what the book contains, I can't really tell you what I'm looking for because I don't know what's in the book. Are you trying to intimidate him? Oh, you're so cute.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. I got send text
No,
message.
because my rolls. The one time I get a good roll, doesn't even not even necessary. So that's how it goes. When I need them to work, they won't. When they don't need to work, I'll crit success or extreme success, whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at my
So when you
screen.
show him that book of the forgery, his eyes get kind of big, and he goes, "Where did you get that?"
Well, I'm not from Massachusetts itself. I'm actually from Pennsylvania.
All
And
right.
you shut your mouth. And I have had this in my personal collection from my own public library. Why? Where do you know it from?
I didn't say that I know it. Why do you think I know it?
Because you asked where I got it from, and you looked like you knew what it was.
Uh, You can't prove that. And then he starts acting really, really weird.
Oh, then I'll step up and I said, yeah, we got you, bud. Don't even try. You might as well let us all know. Might as well tell us the truth. Let it all come out.
Stepford wife. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you now, friend. We know quite a bit of information, and we know you're the man we need to talk to. We also have a detective here who could take you downtown because now I'm suspecting you killed the professor. Downtown? Was
Wow.
downtown even a thing? Was downtown even a thing?
And then
She, he
I'll
goes,
say
he goes,
I said now step back and let me do the work.
There you go.
Now
Have fun.
that
It's all yours
and
now.
yeah, and I said I flashed my badge and I says now let's have a talk. Come with me.
Mhm.
Let's go find a place to sit down so we can have a talk.
yeah, well, I don't want to talk to her if she thinks I killed him. I didn't kill nobody.
So why don't you just get out in the public where nobody can hear you and then rumors get spread that way. Let's sit down and talk in private and tell me what you know.
Uh, uh, okay.
Now,
I will back off and give them their space so that he doesn't feel like I'm invading that.
Okay, but your intimidate failed.
I didn't intimidate nobody,
No,
so
but Arthur's failed.
but
You,
if anything, I should be doing the intimidation role because I told him I think he killed the cop.
or kill the professor.
Yeah, the professor.
Or
if you want him to give you information, you're gonna have to press him for it.
all right.
So
Well,
you're gonna have to
if
make
he's
some
not gonna
rolls.
if he's not gonna do okay, yeah, we'll
No,
press.
the more you
I'm gonna
talk to
put him in
him,
handcuffs. I'm gonna put him in
he's
handcuffs.
okay.
Wow.
And when you do, becomes like hysterical. The more you press him, the more he closes down.
Wow.
So
So he's
as we
like
do that,
rocking back and forth, talking to himself, and he is not talking to you.
okay. Well, then that's when I take him, I put him in cuffs, and I lead him to where I want him to go, which is going to be a private office. We'll say take him back to the professor's office. We're going to take him to Professor Leader's office and sit him down.
Okay, I mean, and that's fine, but I was just saying, as you, even when you put the handcuffs on him, he's just
Babbling.
he's babbling, acting very strange. He's not talking to you. He's whispering to himself.
Okay.
Can I do
And that's fine.
a psychology check on him to see if this is like stress induced or if this is just like he's got a mental breakdown thing going on?
Sure, you can roll psychology.
Thing is how I am proficient in it.
Royce
course.
will have fallen as far back as possible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She was close.
It was so
I'm
Yeah.
close.
in it. And then I
So
rolled
close.
9 over what I needed.
I look at her, see what she's trying to do, and look. I said, yeah, nope, I can't figure it out.
Like I'm really good in medicine too, like first aid, but like this.
So
But-
when we get to the Professor Leader's office, can we get in? Is the door still unlocked?
It's still locked. But when you get there, Amelia actually sees you coming, so she's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy!" But then she's gonna open the door and let you in, and then shut the door behind you. But
Y'all,
she,
she thinks we're crazy. It's great.
well, I mean, you got the dude in handcuffs, and so she's like looking like y'all done lost your mind. But she opens the door for you because basically she doesn't want you to stay out in the hallway.
And I said, bring us some water, please.
And
So
she
he's going to try and get DNA.
But no, I'm just asking for some water.
she
And
kind
then-
of scoffs at it a little bit, like laughs and goes, "I'm not a servant, but fine, I guess I'll bring you some water."
Well, if you tell
And then,
me where
and
it
then
is, I'll
she
go
leaves.
get it.
No,
I
she's
just
already left. She's gonna go get it. She's gonna be a smart ass about it. But she's gonna go get it.
Okay. And that's fine. And when she brings it back, I'll thank her. And so when we get into the room, I'm going to sit him down. I'm going to take his handcuffs off. I'm going to let him sit down. And I said, now, let's have a conversation. That's all I want. Let's have a conversation. And how does he
Look,
react to that?
I mean, he's still rocking back and forth. He's still whispering, but in between his whispers, he's gonna look at you and be like,
I
in
said, okay.
between, he's gonna say, "But it doesn't feel like you want to talk. It feels like you just want to arrest me."
I said, okay. Well, let me tell you what we know so far. We know that you had an issue, or you had interest in the Salem witch trials. We know that you were pressing Professor Leader for try to help with his research and to help do his things, do his research with the papers. We know that you were seen all over town, near the roadhouse, all around campus, in other places around town, following or stalking the professor. I would like to know why. Question one, why were you doing that, stalking him? Why are you so interested? And two, did you know before today that the professor was dead?
Okay, so the first thing he's gonna say is like, "Well, of course I know he's dead. Like everyone on campus knows he's dead."
Okay, that I did not know, but okay.
Well, the dean doesn't know that everybody knows he's dead, but like people talk.
Yeah. And that's
So
fine. That's fine. So okay,
So the
you knew he was
rumor
dead.
has made it. So yes, he knows he's dead, but he's trying to say so does every other student because the rumor has been circulated.
Okay. So why were you stalking him?
You're gonna have to roll either persuade or intimidation.
Persuade or intimidation? Which one is better? Oh, intimidation. And so, and then I'm going to wait, and I'm going to ask him again. And so, and I'm going to roll, but I'm trying to build up to let him know that I'm, building up the intensity of it if he's not answering. So, there you
Yeah,
go.
he's not. Like the first time you answer or like you ask, he's ignoring. Like he's not necessarily ignoring you. He's looking at you, but he's not speaking to you.
Yeah, he's just saying he's giving me the look like I'm not going to tell you. And
Right.
so, and there's my roll. I actually made it
Finally, huh?
finally.
And so he's gonna like he's still acting weird and rocking, and he's talking to himself. And after the pause, and you stared at him for a long time, he looks and he goes, "I wasn't stalking him. Like I hate that term, but sure, I was following him. And if you really must know why, it was because he wouldn't let me work on the papers, and I wanted to help with his research, and he wouldn't let me. And I thought maybe if I followed him, I could get something on him, and he would let me work with him."
Did he ever tell
Why?
you why he wouldn't let you work with him?
He I really don't know. He would make comments that like I was too obsessed or things like that, but those aren't very good reasons.
Okay.
Why?
Why did you want to help him so desperately? What is your interest in the Salem witch trials that makes you so interested that you had to try to bribe and coerce or blackmail a professor into helping you do some of his research, helping you to help him do his research? What is your interest in it that makes you so fascinated into it?
Roll me another intimidate if you're gonna keep pressing him.
Oh, I'm pressing him. Ooh,
A 90.
kiss my
I
ass.
can't
But
help him.
it's only a regular.
You can try.
I could try.
I mean, you can try to intimidate him as well. Yes, if you're both talking to him, then sure.
Oh, my intimidation sucks though, dude. All right.
You can keep intimidating him. Oh
No,
my. You were so close.
every day, all day.
And I'm gonna keep persuading him. We'll talk in him. Does the water come in? If so, I'll pour him a glass of water. Get him
Yeah,
something to
she comes in and brings it in, and I assume when she does, y'all stop talking, and
Yep.
then go back to talking. But she does look at him and sees him rocking and acting like that, and she rolls her eyes and goes back out the door.
Why does it not phase her?
She's used to waterboarding.
I'm gonna keep my eye on her as well, because that's weird that this type of style is not phasing her at all.
No, she's upset at him. She's thinking he's faking it, is my opinion. So can I roll a law check and see if I could tell him how many different laws he's broke doing what he was doing and why we should suspect that has something to do with the demise, maybe not actually doing it, but he's been involved, and lay that out and combine that with another intimidate check.
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Hi.
God. I'm done.
By 3.
I'm done.
No, you got
Look, Betty. We're gonna be here all night, all week, all next week. Let me tell you something. It's the 1920s. It's prohibition. Things are bad. Cops are on the take. I know the bogs where I can bury the bodies. You can either sit here and keep going like that, or you can finally do something and start talking.
Piper will look at Randy and be like, "What the
I
actual?"
actually do the same thing she does.
So
Y'all do
And I just
remember the
grab-
words low profile, right?
I kind of rub my I rubbed my forehead and I said, he's been watching too much Cagney.
Yeah. So when he gets done
That's
talking,
talking. There you go.
he looks at you and just goes, I don't know what it is that you guys want from me, but like I wanted to help with the papers because I wanted it for my thesis. And he wouldn't cooperate with me and wouldn't give me a good reason why. But it was my proposed thesis and I just needed to work on it.
Proposed thesis. How old is he?
Yeah, well, he's a
Do I know how
sophomore.
old is he? He's a sophomore. So
So
he's
he'd
not
be like
even
what,
he doesn't
he'd be
even
like
need
19.
he doesn't even need a thesis yet.
Hey, he could be pre-planning.
It wouldn't be his senior thesis, but some courses do require a thesis. So if he's taking like an occult course, it may require a thesis
Hmm.
to pass the course.
Hey, resident teacher person who's not paying attention to any of this because he's trying to separate himself from this. Do we know if sophomores have any type of thesis that would be
Uh,
done?
He is over in Amelia's office.
Yeah, I poked my head in there.
No, but he could be preparing for his junior or senior.
Also, it could be next year. Thank you. And then we'll run off and go tell the others. All right. So here, why that particular subject though?
Well, I've always had an interest in things like that, but it
Things
would
like
also
what?
be like basically the occult, but he's not going to use that word.
Because it's Massachusetts and we're like 13 miles from Salem.
Right, like it's local history plus um he just had an interest in stuff like that, like the occult. And then it also had to do with his class. If his class is it's mainly his interest. So like when I did my senior thesis, I got to pick it. So it would probably be a mixture of he's interested in it and it's local history.
Okay.
That's the answer he's going to give you.
Okay. Do I believe that answer?
Yeah,
Okay.
you believe it. Now, if you want to try to see if he's lying, you can roll for that. But I
Yeah.
mean, you believe him.
All right. I believe
What
he's lying. Okay.
what
Let
role
me
is that?
Um, what's the other one? It's not spot hidden. What's the other one? Hold on,
Sleight of hand.
let me look.
stealth, swim,
Pers-
throw, trust.
Persuasion.
Psychoanalysis.
Oh,
Hmm.
I got a 1 in that one.
Hold on, I can't see all of them. Let me pull up the right thing so I can actually see what I'm looking for.
Doesn't really have one. It would probably be either psychology or psychoanalysis.
So I'm a great listener.
Maybe
Tone of voice.
crosstalk.
Yeah, tone of voice. I'm looking for like his body language because like if I believe the words that are coming out of his mouth, means I believe his
We could
tone.
use um, you could any of the above really would probably work.
Right, don't screw me now, psychology. Ha ha ha. Okay.
So he's being truthful when you're looking at him, like he's being truthful. He's not lying to you, but it does appear that he may be holding something back.
I'm gonna it's gonna sound so bad. I'm gonna whisper in Arthur's ear, but he's holding back. Press a little harder.
Hmm.
He keeps failing his intimidation rolls. It's like,
I know. I know.
What can
Kid,
I
you're a
if
sweet
what
kid. You're a nice kid. I understand you going to school and you want to get through school and everything's wonderful. We're only trying to make it better. You can't hold back, buddy. You just, you got to open up to me. Look, you just got to open up.
Wow, this
God.
the charm on Randy. Oh, he's got the riz, y'all.
Now, I was about to blow up and grab him.
No, don't go there
I was
yet.
I was gonna go
You can
barbaric
still
on him.
do that. Like you can still do
Remember,
that.
Arthur, you're the good
You
cop.
can knock
I'm
me
the
out of the
bad
way and go all over him. I don't mind.
So he's gonna be like, okay, fine. Like I did follow him, and I can give you some info about that if you would like, but I don't know like what you might want to know. I know that like when I was
Everything.
following him. Okay, well, when
Quickly.
I was following him, when he was about to like right before when he was about to die, that's wrong. Don't say that. He said that
Oh, so
right
let's throw away the
right
keys.
Oh,
before
He's the guy. Let's
before
pin
his
everything on
death.
him.
No, that's Brittany misspeaking, not him. So like just on that one. But right before his death, a couple of days before, he was following him, so he's gonna say, yeah, I know that he was getting paranoid. Uh, I don't. He was acting real strange. But there's a few people that I know that he came in contact with, if you want to know who they are, or at least their names.
the people who are roughing him up for the collecting of his debts. Is that who you're talking
Uh,
about?
I I don't know anything about that. I didn't see anybody roughing him up. Um, I know he was meeting with a woman, and I think her name was Lucy.
Yeah, we know about
her.
Lucy.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Well, he was also going and let me pull this up so I don't tell you wrong information.
Again.
What you trying to say, Nance? Anyways, he was meeting with this young kid that I don't know. He's weird, but his name was Cecil. I saw him have a few meetings with him.
You call Cecil weird, and you're the one stalking the professor.
I'd
Oh,
rather be
yeah,
stuck in Marianne.
sure,
Where
but
did they meet?
you would just have to see him. Um, various places. Sometimes at his house. Sometimes outside the hop house. Hop house. What's that place called?
Roadhouse.
Hibbs Roadhouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Hop House is the name of the family that's looking for the damn papers. Anyways, Hibbs Roadhouse. They sometimes outside of there, never inside. I guess just
Never
wherever
inside.
they could. Well,
Uh,
yeah, I never saw Cecil go inside the
and
roadhouse.
what's Cecil's last name?
Um, based on what I could find out, I think his last name was Hunter.
Uh, all right, so we got Cecil, and that's all you. That's all. I mean, Lucy, Cecil. That's all you
Oh,
have.
there was one other guy that you probably I don't know if that may be worth noting, but he was a like an antique dealer.
Okay.
Now you've piqued my interest.
Where did they meet, and what was the dealer's name?
Oh, well, he always went to
Shop.
his shop, and his name is Abner.
And what's the name of the shop?
Oh, whatever we want it to be. Hold, please.
Abner's Antiques. Okay.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Antiques and antiquities.
Oh no, it does have a name. Unconsidered trifles. I lied to you. My bad. That's a terrible name. We're going with Adams.
Oh, Brittany.
We're gonna go because that's like I was like, wait, it does say it right there, but like that's a terrible name. I like yours better, Romar.
All right, so they went to the Antiquities place, and what happened?
Oh, I don't know what happened. I never went inside. I just know that he would go in there and spend 30 minutes or so in there and come back out. I don't know what they were discussing.
Well, now we have more people to talk to and places to be.
Okay. I give him another glass of water, and I says, "Now, wasn't that a lot more easier than just being a dick?"
Like, not being a dick, but like you kind of accused me of murder and then put handcuffs on me.
Well, she
And then
did, and then
okay, but like I didn't murder anybody.
so,
Not yet.
Not yet. All right, so
but you're following him around. Just think about this
Okay,
for
I meant
future reference.
that's probably
No,
not
no, no,
my
no.
finer point. That's probably
Okay,
not
kid.
my best
Kid,
point.
listen to me. You just think about it. You're following a guy around. Then, not only that, he's meeting people. You're researching the people he's meeting to find out what their names are and what they're doing. And then the guy that you're following around and all this other stuff winds up dead.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I did it.
What do you think it's going to lead people to think when I bring this to my boss and he's going to, you know what he's going to tell me to do, right?
Give you a medal and say, "Hey, good job, kid."
He's going to tell me to drag your ass in and he's going to let the brass knuckle investigators and interrogators talk to you. Do you want that to happen?
He's just gonna look at you and get like stone faced, and then it's fine if that's what has to happen. But I didn't kill him, and okay, maybe I was following him, but like I already told you why, and it wasn't to kill him. And I've already said I was just trying to get some dirt on him. So sure, I wrote down the people he was meeting with because if he's meeting with shady characters, that's my in for my thesis. So like, okay, point the finger all you want to, but I didn't kill the guy.
all right. I believe you. You didn't kill him.
I don't. Let's beat him up.
No, hold on.
All right.
He's just a kid.
Just
He's learning from his mistakes.
I'm actually probably just a couple of years older than he is, and he's the same age as Randy.
He's just a kid. Like, calm down. We all make mistakes.
I didn't. Not like that. But
Listen, we're all not Mr. Perfect, okay? But listen, we don't need to scare him any more than he already is. We don't need to interrogate him anymore. Hey, kid, just next time, if an officer asks you a question, just answer it honestly. It'll prevent all of this craziness from happening.
I'll lean
I
over
only
and say, next time, plead the
I think
fifth
we
and
should
ask for your lawyer.
I think we should take him and see the body.
Him too. Yeah. No, don't scare him any further than you have to.
For a fifth.
All right, Mr. Flinders, you're free to go. Thank you for the help.
Can you take these cuffs off of me?
And
Oh,
don't name
I
your
took
child
the-
Ned.
We
took
did that
the cuffs
earlier.
off. I let him when I told him to have a seat. I took the cuffs off.
Oh,
of him.
okay.
I said offer him a cigarette and take the cuffs off. So he's
And then I
Okay,
loaded the
that's
pistol.
far. It's fine. He's gonna get up and and just like back up towards the door and look at you like he doesn't trust y'all, and then once he's out the door, then he's gonna turn around.
Did you
I
say
don't-
you took out a pistol?
What?
Did you say you took out a pistol?
No.
Oh,
Yeah, he took out a pistol and he was chambering a bullet earlier.
oh no. I tell you right out. I tell you flat out. Don't do that. Don't do that. You'll get everybody in trouble, and I'll have to I'll have to arrest you, and I don't want to do that. Please don't do that.
Right.
I'll let
you
you
have
brass. I'll let you brass knuckle beat somebody before you pull out a gun.
Well, we had him handcuffed to the chair. We were giving him his last cigarette. I thought that was next.
Just go ahead and Cappy.
I put it away after I found out it was going a different direction.
Oh,
So
you
yeah, you
guys,
have a few
we-
choices. You found out a
I-
couple more names.
you guys were insane. Listen,
I'm
that
gonna-
went way too far, way too fast, way too quickly. We need to have like some type of code before we just break into it.
I
Well,
thought the
you know-
code was here's your last cigarette.
No, I'm at the part where he got thrown into cuffs and taken immediately into this building.
I
Good
need
cop,
to,
bad cop.
I need to
Yeah.
have I need to have a shaman come in and bless my computer in this program to cleanse it of all evil and wrongdoing that I have done, so I can start rolling better.
You just need to reset your dice, man.
I don't know how to do that. Is it under the cog wheel?
No, 1,000 D20.
That's a reset.
You hit /R 1,000 D20. Or in this case, it'll probably be D100.
Space, right?
R/R space D100. Or 1,000 D100s. See how I did it? And Brittany can probably make that all go away.
That's not 1,000. You just rolled.
You have to hit 1,000 D and then 100.
Piper, you just rolled 1, 2, 3, 100 million.
I don't know what I typed in.
You
I
just rolled 100 million D100s.
I just typed a bunch of zeros and made it go. That's all.
Like, let me unhide this so you can see how long that is.
I did see how long it was. I got see, out of the 100 million that I rolled, I only got 49,000. So I needed a reset.
So I'm thinking we'll end here. Especially since he left. Most of these sessions are probably going to go to about 3 hours, anyways. So
Do you want to
Yeah, I have
let
a
him
few-
know that they end about half an hour after he usually leaves?
yeah, I'll let him. I thought I had told him that already, but maybe he doesn't remember. I'll reach out to him and remind him.
Okay.
But I do know it's like 4 o'clock in the morning this time. So if he bolts 30 minutes early, I'm not gonna say nothing because
Okay.
I wouldn't be able to do it. But I will reach out to him and remind him.
All right. So we're ending.
That's just because this is really, really